Hi and welcome to Camille's Country Corner. I am Camille, and on today's episode we are going to be making some stuffed butternut squash. We are going to be stuffing it with a sausage mixture, and I will show you how to make that. It is fall, so we are starting with our fall recipes, and it will be an apple and sausage stuffing that we're going to be putting inside of the butternut squash with all kinds of cheesy goodness. All right, let me show you how to make this recipe, and if you haven't yet, hit subscribe. Definitely hit that like button. Let's get started. Today's recipe is fairly healthy, and you only need a few ingredients. So we're going to use a butternut squash. I'm going to use about a pound of Italian sausage, 1 onion, about medium, 1 big large apple, assorted herbs. I believe I have some sage, some thyme, rosemary, basil, and oregano. Going to use some cheddar cheese, and I have some fresh garlic. Let's get started with this. Okay, so we're going to start out by roasting our butternut squash first, because we want this pretty much cooked by the time we put everything else inside of it. So I am just going to rub it with some olive oil. And we're going to put a little bit of salt and pepper on it, just so we give it a little bit of seasoning to start. I've got my oven preheated at 400 degrees. We're going to roast this for about 30 to 45 minutes, depending on when it's done. I'm going to go ahead and turn it upside down. Put some olive oil on the back side of it so it doesn't burn. All right, I'll see you back here in about a half an hour. For you, it'll just be seconds. All right, to my pan, I have added 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I'm going to go ahead and add my 1 pound of ground sausage. I am just using the mild sausage here, but you can use whatever you like. They got to make that difficult, don't they? All right, I'm going to go ahead and dump in my onion, my garlic, and my apple. I have diced it all up. And we're just going to cook this down a bit before we add in our fresh herbs. I am going to go ahead and add a little salt and pepper right here, right in the beginning stages. All right, now that our sausage mixture is almost done, let's go ahead and add in our fresh herbs. The only thing I don't have fresh is thyme, so I'm going to go ahead and add in a little bit of thyme. Now let's check on that butternut squash, see if that's ready, and we'll put this all together. All right, now that the butternut squash is done, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, and I didn't even think I had one of these cookie scoops, but I am just going to like melon ball and scoop out some of the butternut squash and put it into our stuffing. That way it just makes it easier to stuff these. Now that that is done, let me move this up a little so you can see what I'm doing. We're just going to mix it in. All right, we're just going to scoop these into our shells. How delicious does that look? I have bumped up my oven to 400 degrees. All of my extra, I'm going to throw it into a casserole pan, small one. Top it with some cheese, just like I'm going to do these boats. Nothing is going to be wasted. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back into the oven for about 10 more minutes because everything is cooked through. We're just waiting for the cheese to melt. See you back here in a minute. All right, now that our boats are done, here's what they look like. Let's give them a try. All right, I have already cut myself a piece. Filled with all kinds of cheesy goodness. I know this is going to be hot because it's steaming. I just love butternut squash. I love all squash. Who am I kidding? Except for eggplant. That one I don't like. Oh, it tastes just like Thanksgiving because of the sage and the thyme and the rosemary that I added to the sausage and the apples. It's just like when you make the stuffing and you make the sausage stuffing, if you've ever made that at Thanksgiving, that's what this reminds me of. It is so good. I hope you give this recipe a try. And if you do, comment below of what you added in yours. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. I'm glad you stopped by here today. If you haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Definitely hit that like button, and we'll catch you on the next one.